POPQ, Pelvic Organ Prolapse Quantification System. Professor Paul Rees, world-famous urogynecologist from Medical University of Vienna, Austria, my mentor, is a born teacher. His way of teaching makes any difficult topics a very easy one. His concept of POPQ teaching is being followed in this session. At the end of this session, you will learn what is POPQ, what are its components, how to measure it, its comparison with other classification system. What is POPQ? Pelvic Organ Prolapse Quantification System refers to an objectively quantifying staging of omen pelvic support, provides a standardized tool for documenting, comparing and communicating clinical findings with proven inter-observer and intra-observer reliability. We take these small tools known as pop sticks for doing the measurement. This is a simple tools with graduations in centimeter. Hymen is the landmark for all measurements. Anything above the hymen is termed as minus. Anything below the hymen, that is outside the vagina, is known as plus. Parameters in POPQ examination. There are 6 points and 3 measures are there. Point A is anteriorly AA and posteriorly AP. Point B, anteriorly BA and posteriorly BP. Point C, cervix. Point D, posterior fornix. So these are the 6 points. GH, genital hiatus. PB, perineal body, and TVL, total vaginal length. A, this point is on anterior vaginal wall 3 cm proximal to the hymen. In the event of no prolapse, it is minus 3 cm, and in the event of prolapse, it can be maximum up to plus 3 cm. So it is range in between minus 3 to plus 3. That's why it is called relatively fixed. BA, the most distal position of the remaining upper anterior vaginal wall. In the absence of prolapse, this one and A is remains in the minus 3 cm, but for prolapse it can be maximum up to total vaginal length. C is the most distal edge of the cervix or vaginal cuff scar in case of post-hysterectomy. D is the posterior fornix, not applicable in post-hysterectomy patient. AP, the posterior vaginal wall 3 cm proximal to the hymen, this point, it is minus 3 cm in the absence of prolapse and plus 3 cm in the presence of prolapse maximally. So again this is another fixed point which ranges from minus 3 to plus 3. And then the BP is the most distal position of the remaining upper posterior vaginal wall. Same way it is in the absence of prolapse, it is same as AP, there is a minus 3, but in the presence of prolapse maximum it could be total vaginal length outside. GH, genital hiatus, it is measured from the middle of the external erectile meatus to the posterior midline hymen. Perineal body, this is measured from the posterior margin of the genital hiatus to the middle of the anal opening. TVL, total vaginal length, depth of the vagina when point D or C is reduced to its normal position. Basing on these findings, we can stage the POPQ as stage 0, where there is no prolapse, that is AA, AP, BA, BP all are in minus 3 cm, and C or D is they are well above more than this TVL minus 2 cm or above that. So it almost goes to the level of the ischial spine. Stage 1, the stage 0 criteria is not met and the leading edge is more than 1 cm above the hymen. Right. but we can write in this way. This is less than minus 1 centimeter. Stage 2, leading edge is within minus 1 to plus 1 centimeter of the hymen. Stage 3 is the leading edge is more than plus 1 centimeter but less than tibial minus 2 centimeter outside. Stage 4 is the leading edge more or equal to tibial minus 2 centimeter outside. In nutshell, the stages are: stage 0, no prolapse. Stage 1 is below 0 but well above more than 1 centimeter of the hymen. Stage 2, within the minus 1 to plus 1 centimeter of the hymen. Stage 3, more than plus 1 centimeter but less than the tibial minus 2 in the positive way. Stage 4, more or equal to positive way tibial minus 2 centimeter. We should describe the stage of anterior wall, posterior wall and uterus and wall prolapse separately. And to see the anterior and posterior vaginal wall properly, we should insert a Sims speculum. How to document it? It is documented either by using a grid, which is most widely used, and most of us has been used to it because we have played so much crisscross in the childhood. In this end, the top one, the A or anteriorly, BA, and then the C, and the bottom is the posterior finding, the AP, BP, and D. Middle is these three measurements, GH, PB, and the TVL. It can be expressed in numbers also. A, BA, C, double slash, GH, PB, TVL, double slash, AP, BP, D. And to document it, we'll put our finding in this grid and we'll write like this also. The level 1, which says about the uterine prolapse, as per the measurement of the point C, will make the staging. Level 2, the staging will be anterior and posterior to separate. For the anterior vaginal wall, as per the points of the point A, B, which one is more, accordingly we will assign the staging. For the P posterior vaginal wall, as per the measurement of the AP and BP, whichever is the more, accordingly the staging will be assigned. Level 3, the presence or absence of the stress urinary incontinence through objective demonstrations, and you will see that. And the posterior will look for the perineal body, whether it is strong or attenuated. We will put a finger inside the foreshaded posterior commissure radius and we'll try to hook it out. If you can hook it out, then it is attenuated, but normally perineal body is strong, we will not be able to hook it out. Let us take some examples. C, or the cervix, so this is the most leading area of the prolapse. D is representing the posterior fornix, but when there is a prolapse, it is difficult to find out where is the posterior fornix, so it is easy to find out where the uterosacral ligament is inserted because as you know that when they are in the normal position, the area in between the insertion of the two uterosacral ligaments goes to the posterior fornix or the pouch of Douglas, right? So for knowing that one, put a finger on this side and laterally and try to hook outside, and then you will see that you will find some resistance. That resistance is nothing but the attachment of the uterosacral ligament to the cervix, so that goes to the area of the posterior fornix or the point D, right? And that if there is a too much difference between the length of the measurement of the point C and the point D, then you know that actually instead of a prolapse, it could be a case of a elongation of the cervix, right? For measurement of the genital hiatus, we do this one from the middle of the external urethral meatus up to the midpoint of the posterior hymen, and for the perineal body from the midpoint of the posterior hymen to the mid-anal level, we take the measurement. Anterior vaginal wall prolapse. For this one, you see the anterior vaginal wall. From here, this is the A. It is already totally prolapsed the plus 3 centimeter, and the BA point on straining. Actually, you do all the measurement on straining except the TVL. So this one on straining coming to the plus 5 level, right? So that's why you're putting in this grid A plus 3, BA plus 5. Service we are unable to see. Actually, it was inside, well inside. So it is in the -4. And the AP, there is no prolapse in the posterior vaginal wall, so -3, BP also -3. Posterior furnation in the -5 level. Genital hiatus was 4.5 centimeter and the perineal body was 2 centimeter. After replacement, the TVL was 8 centimeter. So considering this is the level 1, it is a stage 1, right? Because TVL is 8, but it is not within the 1 centimeter of the hymen, so it is above that, so it is stage 1. But level 2 anteriorly, see it is more than plus 1 centimeter, so it is but less than the TVL -2. This one 5, TVL -2 is 8, -2 is 6, so but it is 5, so it is stage 3. Posteriorly it is stage 0. Level 3 anteriorly there is no SUI and perineum is normal. This can be expressed in this graphical representation also, which is invented by Professor Paul Rees. See here, this red line is the vaginal wall. Anteriorly it is coming outside. This 0 is goes to the hymen, and then it's coming each and plus and each minus, outside, inside. So this is A is at the +3 level, BA is at the +5. Because we don't take the fractions, we go to the round figure, right? And then C is at the -4 inside, D at the -5. And as there is no prolapse of the posterior wall, so AP is at the -3 and BP also -3. So this also we can demonstrate it. Posterior vaginal wall prolapse. So this one you see here, we put the seam speculum because to know that it is the posterior vaginal wall which is coming out by replacing the anterior vaginal wall with this seam speculum, right? And we know that actually there is no anterior vaginal prolapse. And see here, this one is totally coming outside on staining, so it is +3 centimeter, +3 centimeter. And this one staining is coming out to +4 centimeter, +4 centimeter. Anteriorly there is no prolapse, so -3 both, and the cervix was well inside, so it is -5, okay, and the furnace was in the -6 centimeter. Genital hiatus was 4 centimeter and the perineal body was 3 centimeter. After replacement, the TVL was 8 centimeter. So if you consider this one again, this one is going to the, because it is below the level of the ischial spines but well above the -1 centimeter from the hymen, so it is level 1 is stage 1. And again the level 2 anterior is stage 0, and level 2 posterior is +4, but it is TVL -2 is 6 centimeter, but it is +4, so it is stage 3. Level 3 anterior no SUI, perineum is normal. Same way you can place it like this way also, right? But most widely used one is the this grid system. Again another posterior wall prolapse. See here, anteriorly there is no prolapse, all are -3, -3, but cervix is well outside, +5, okay, +5. Posteriorly the AP was at -2, not much coming outside, but the BP, the nearby area, it was coming outside, it is almost at the level of the +2. And actually we have found out by doing a PR examination that the intestinal coils was present over there. We could feel the pulsation, so there's a written pulsion. So this pulsion can be seen also, visible pulsation of the intestines over here, or by, as I said, by digital palpations. Either of the, if you feel it, we write pulsion, right? So that shows that what is the content inside. We need not to write it in red color, just for getting your attention we made it red color, okay. And the genital hiatus was 5 centimeter and the perineal body was small, 2 centimeter. After replacement the TVL was 9 centimeter. So level 1 was 9 -2 is 7, but it is +5, so stage 3. And the level 2 anterior stage 0, and level 2 posterior is C, it is more than +1 centimeter, so stage 3, right? And the level 3 no SUI, perineum was normal. Stage 4 POP. So here you can see here that everything is, see this area also prolapsed out, everything is prolapsed out, right? So this one is the A is +3, AP also +3, right? and then BA is at +7, right? BP is little less, around +6 centimeter, right? Okay, and the cervix is at +7 centimeter, +8 centimeter cervix. Okay, well, as you said, we take the nearest these things, and this is +7 centimeter. Actually, it was supposed to come here to some part of this picture mistake. Okay, +7 centimeter, and then level 1, so it is this one 8, this one 8, so stage 4, right? And level 2 anterior also stage 4, it is coming here, right? So +7, it is within this TVL -2 within that, and this one also TVL -2 exactly with that. So both are stage 4. Actually no SY, perineum was normal. Stage 4 POP is the valve prolapse case. You can see here that everything is coming outside. A was +3, AP was a +3, BA was +7, BP was a +7, right? And GH was 5 centimeter, PB was small 2 centimeter, total vaginal length was 7 centimeter. See here, there is no D here. That shows that it is a case of a post-hysterectomy prolapse, right? So level 1 stage 4, level 2 anterior stage 4, posterior stage 4, level 3 no SY. Perineum was attenuated in this case because we could hook out our finger outside. Now to compare this POPQ with the other classifications, we have compared this one is SHORTS classification and Badenwag classification. POPQ classification, just a remembrance of what we have done right now, we have learned right now. Stage 0 no prolapse, stage 1 below 0 but well above the -1 centimeter. Stage 2 within the -1 and the +1 centimeter of the hymen. Stage 3 more than the +1 centimeter but less than the plus TVL -2. Stage 4 is the more or equal to plus TVL -2. In the SHORTS classification, the stage 1, here the landmark is the introitus. The cervix is above the introitus. Cervix actually, by saying the cervix, it means the level of the external os. Stage 2, cervix at the level of introitus. Stage 3, cervix below the introitus. And stage 4 or posidentia, whole of the uterus is outside the introitus. Vaginal wall prolapse, anterior vaginal wall, upper 2/3 prolapse known as the cystocele, where the bladder lies behind. Lower 1/3 prolapse known as the urethrocele, where the urethra lies behind. Posterior vaginal wall, the upper 1/3 prolapse known as the enterocele, where the intestinal etc. lies behind. Lower 2/3 prolapse known as the rectocele. The lower 2/3 also can be divided as follows: the middle 1/3 known as the rectum, because the rectum lies behind, and lower 1/3 is the relaxed perineum. Baden-Walker systems or the halfway systems. Here the hymen is the landmark. When the cervix at the level of the ischial spine, so there is no prolapse, and when it has come halfway to reach the hymen, so it is known as the 1. When the cervix lies at the level of the hymen, so it's 2. When the cervix goes outside almost half of the distance of the hymen, so it's 3. And with the maximum descent is known as the stage 4. So to compare these three, so you know that if you know the landmark is for POPQ, show, and the Baden-Walker. The landmark is the hymen for the POPQ, introitus for the shows, and the Baden-Walker is the hymen. For the stage or grade 0 for all no prolapse. For the 1 POPQ above the -1 centimeter, and shows is above the introitus, and the Baden-Walker is halfway to hymen. 2 stage 2 within ±1 centimeter of the hymen for the POPQ, at the introitus for the shows, and at hymen for the Baden-Walker. And 3 is the more than +1 centimeter but less than the plus TVL -2 for the POPQ, below the introitus for show, and halfway past hymen for the Baden-Walker. And the 4 is the more or equal to plus TVL -2, and the whole uterus for the below the introitus for the shows, and the maximum descent for the Baden-Walker. These are my resources. So to summary, POPQ is a pelvic organ prolapse quantification systems. Hymen is the landmark. There are 6 points are there: AA, AP, BA, BP, C and D, and 3 measures are there: genital hiatus, perineal body and total vaginal length. With all the measurements, we have 5 stages. Stage 0, stage 1, there is more than 1 centimeter above the hymen. Stage 2, within plus minus 1 centimeter of the hymen. Stage 3, more than 1 centimeter below the hymen but less than plus TVL minus 2. Stage 4, more or equal to plus TVL minus 2. We express this in grid or number. So POPQ is a standardized, objectively demonstrable, reliable classification of female pelvic organ prolapse. Thank you.